I moved into the apartment on the sixth floor last December, just before the snow buried the city. It was small, but cozy. Old parquet floors, radiators that groaned at night, and that kind of dusty stillness that made it feel untouched. The real estate agent warned me that the building had character. Thin walls, creaky pipes, occasional blackout. I didn't mind. The first night passed quietly, but by the end of the week, I started noticing things. Always around 3 a.m., I'd hear footsteps, not the usual clatter from someone getting up to grab a drink. This was different. Slow, heavy, deliberate. The steps would start at one end of the apartment below mine, cross the floor, stop beneath my door, and linger. That was the worst part. The silence after the steps, then the whispering. At first, I thought it was my neighbors. Maybe they were talking near an open window. But the sounds were too close. I started sleeping with my phone recording overnight. And when I listened back, my stomach twisted. It was my name, whispered softly. Maria. I played it over and over, trying to convince myself it was a fluke, until I noticed something else. The sound wasn't coming through the floor. It was in it, like it lived between the layers of wood and concrete. The next morning, I went downstairs. Apartment 503. I knocked. No answer. I asked the neighbor across the hall about it. "Oh, that place has been empty since the incident," he said, looking uncomfortable. "What incident?" "They never found the tenant. Just his shoes, right by the front door. Police said it looked like he stepped out and vanished. He'd left a strange note behind." He trailed off, but when I pressed, he muttered something like, "Don't open the door until it's quiet. They check who listens." That night, I blocked my door with a chair. I tried to sleep with headphones on, but around 3:03 a.m., my phone lit up. A notification, voice recording started. I hadn't touched it. When I checked the file the next morning, I couldn't breathe. It wasn't just whispering anymore. There was breathing, right behind the door. And a voice different from before, lower, rasping. You listened. So now we knock. A single knock echoed through the apartment. The next night, 2 knocks. I haven't slept since. I'd been driving for hours through empty highways and thick fog when I saw the flickering neon sign. Mountain View Inn. It looked abandoned, but I was too tired to care. No receptionist, no lobby, just a small digital kiosk next to a steel door. The screen blinked once, then printed out a card and a note. Room 4 is prepared. Do not exit or open the door between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. If you hear a voice, do not respond. If it knocks, wait until it's quiet, then forget what you heard. I assumed it was some kind of immersive horror-themed hotel. Clever marketing. I was wrong. Room 4 was plain. Old wallpaper, no TV, no clock, just a bed, a mirror, and a deadbolt. I locked up, got under the covers, and tried to sleep. But something felt off. The air was too still. The silence had a hum to it, the kind that makes your ears ring. At 2:47 a.m., I woke up to a scratching sound. Then, a slow, deliberate knock. I sat up, heart pounding. It came again, and then a voice. "Artem." It sounded just like my brother, calm, patient. "I know you can hear me. It's okay. Just open the door." But my brother was dead. 3 years. I went to the peephole and stopped. Another knock. The voice changed, became desperate. "Please, Artem. I'm cold. I don't know where I am. You left me. I didn't speak. I didn't move. I just stared at the door, frozen. Then I heard something slide under it. Paper. At dawn, I worked up the nerve to look. The hallway was empty. But the paper was still there. It was a photograph. A photo of me sleeping in that bed. Taken from inside the room. On the back, scribbled in red ink. You opened it before. Welcome back. Now every night at home, I bolt my door shut. Because sometimes, just sometimes, I think I hear him again. And the knocking is getting closer. The new corporate office was clean, modern, eerily quiet. After a month of working there, I still hadn't adjusted to the silence. The hallway lights buzzed faintly, and no one ever seemed to speak louder than a whisper. But the strangest thing was the door by the east stairwell. No sign, no handle, just a metal plate. Room 0. I passed it every morning and evening. It was always locked, always cold to the touch. I asked once during lunch. The others exchanged glances. Oh, it's nothing. Some old storage thing from the original building design, someone said. They just never removed it. But then I started hearing things. Not during work hours, only when I stayed late. Around 7 or 8 p.m., when the halls were empty, I'd walk past it and hear crying. A child, a little girl. Sometimes she whispered, "Mommy, Mommy, I'm in here." I froze the first time I heard it. I have a daughter, 5 years old. But she was safe at home. I didn't bring her to work. Ever. I told myself it was just the pipes, the building settling. But one night I stopped in front of the door. The crying stopped. And a whisper came through. "Please open it. I'm scared. But not when it's loud. That's when it watches me." The hall was silent. I should have walked away. Instead, I waited. I waited until I couldn't hear anything, not even the buzz of the lights. And I opened it. Behind the door was a single windowless room, concrete walls, cold air, and a tall antique mirror. It faced me, but I wasn't in the reflection. Something else was. It wore my face, but the eyes were wrong, too dark, too calm. It smiled when I didn't. I stumbled backward, but the door slammed shut. I turned, no handle, no exit. Then I heard the whisper again. But this time, it wasn't from the room. It was coming through the mirror. You listen well. You knew when it was quiet. I don't know how long I stood there. Eventually, I woke up in my office chair. Early morning. No one believed me. Room 0. They said it didn't exist, that there's no door by the stairwell. I ran back to check. It was gone. But now, sometimes I catch glimpses in other mirrors, and the reflection isn't always mine. Sometimes it's still in there, watching, waiting for the next listener.